Suman Dey is requested to please
Suman Dey is requested to please
remove
remove
the
the
clicking
clicking
of
of
the
the
present
present
now
now
button.
button.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's exclusive webinar on learning ecosystems for future urban planners. My name is Kankan Kataria. I am a faculty with Sushant School of Planning and Development, and I coordinated the master's program at Sushant School of Planning. I'm an urban regional planner with specialization in transport planning. I joined Sushant School 5 years ago, and I continue to learn each day here. I'll take you further into the webinar now. I'll be moderating today's webinar. The key highlights of the webinar are, we will be talking about what is planning, what is the future scope of planning profession, why at Sushant School, and what are the different planning programs that are offered at Sushant School of Planning and Development. So to begin with, I would like to introduce you to today's speakers. But before that, I would like to state a few instructions with everyone, please, so that we can go smooth with the webinar. Kindly put your audio and video on mute mode. Also, do not click on the press now icon. If you have any questions, please use the chat box to write it down, and we will note it down and address it at the end of the session. And today's webinar will be available on our website after the live session. Thank you so much for your cooperation. This is the flow of the event, today's event. We will be starting with an overview about Sushant, its history and legacy, which will be introduced by our director and dean, Professor Dr. Vibhuti Sachdev. Then Dr. Ajit Kalyat will be talking about the planning as career profession. And then we will be providing an overview about the bachelor's programs at Sushant School of Planning and Development, the master's and PhD programs at Sushant School. Some of our student representatives will also be sharing about their experiences. And at the end, we will be sharing about the Ansel University campus and admission process. And towards the end, we will open the session for question and answers. I now request, I'm introducing the speakers of today's webinar. I begin with Dr. Vibhuti Sachdev, Director of Sushant School, Planning, Design and Architecture, and also the Dean of Sushant School of Architecture. Dr. Vibhuti is a qualified architect and an authority on the Vastu Vidya. She did her architecture from the Sushant School of Planning and Architecture, from School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi, and PhD in Architectural Theory from School of Oriental and African Studies, University of London. She worked in London as a lecturer in History of Art in the University of Sussex and moved back to India in 2004 and worked as an independent writer, lecturer, as a consultant on conservation projects. She has been associated with Sushant since 2014, and she became the dean of the school in the year 2017, moving on to becoming the director of the 3 creative schools of Sushant in 2019. Over to Dr. Vibhuti. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, Sushant School of Planning and Development is situated in an ecosystem of what we call the creative cluster. Why we call it the creative cluster is because there are 3 disciplines that shape the environment we live in. Planning, architecture, and design in real life have to work very closely with each other in order to shape the environment. And it is precisely why they are unable to work in sync is the reason why our environment is in such a mess. So we are correcting that right at the educational level, where when you join Sushant School of Planning and Development, you join an ecosystem of a creative cluster where you have 1,200 alumni situated all over the world. We have a huge network of visiting faculty, 80 plus visiting faculty, who bring the cutting edge ideas of the industry to the school. We also have, of course, full-time faculty who are practitioners, who are leaders in thought leaders in pedagogy and research. So you join that ecosystem, which you benefit from right from day one when you join Sushant School of Planning and Development. All 3 schools work very closely with each other. So this is what the 3 Sushants do. And as you know, if I may use a cliche, architecture is known as the mother of all arts, and planning is actually the father of all arts, because it's planning that sets out the rules according to which architecture has to play. So it is a very important profession. It is the starting point of a creative process, and it sets the tone, it sets the agendas, it sets the policies, so that architects and designers can shape the physical aspects of our environment. So here we are, Sushant School of Art and Architecture, Design and Planning and Development is our creative cluster, of which planning is actually the leader of the creative cluster. Yeah. Thanks, Kankan.
Thank you, Dr. Vibhuti. Now let us get to know more about the planning profession. We will start with an insight on planning as a career option. For this, I would like to invite Dr. Ajit Kaliath to take it forward. I would like to introduce Dr. Ajit Kaliath here. He is Head of Marketing and Admissions at Sushant School of Planning and Development. Dr. Ajit is a human geographer and an urban regional planner. He holds a PhD in land as critical ecological resource for sustainable cities from Queen's University, Belfast, United Kingdom. He is a recipient of the prestigious British Chevening Scholarship and Overseas Research Scholarship from the Government of UK. He has 20 years of professional experience with state and central pollution control boards, Ministry of Environment and Forest, German International Cooperation, National Institute of Urban Affairs, and in the private sector. I invite Dr. Ajit Kaliath to take it forward. Over to Dr. Kaliath.
Thank you, Kankan. Very good evening to the guests, to the parents, and prospective students. I am going to use about 10 minutes, which is allocated to me to share about the perspective about the planning profession and how and why it needs to be chosen as a career. Of course, it comes from my own work and experience in this profession about 20 years. And I would like to elicit your interest in being part of this profession, which is actually which is going to shape the future of humanity. I dare to say that it's going to shape the future of humanity because we are moving into urban and peri-urban environments, and more activities are going to happen in these environments. So planning is basically a profession which helps all of us to organize people and activities in places. It's as simple as that one, but it's a complex process of acquiring knowledge, processing it, and using it for a specific purpose, so that we all live in great places, thriving places. Looking at this number, I would just want to tell you that the number in front of you, it's 47 crore, which is about 35% of India's population. We are a country with 135 crore people, and 47 crore is about 35% of it, which is basically putting all the big four states, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Madhya Pradesh together. The population of all these put together, it's about 46 crore. So that's a kind of space. That's a kind of population that is urbanized in India. And so itself, you would understand the significance, how relevant it is in terms of how many human lives or how many issues are in play. So it's important for us to tell who were the people who actually led us, who steered the profession, who were the lights, leading lights of this profession in yesteryears, and people such as Le Corbusier, Jane Jacobs, and Rem Koolhaas had actually led the profession, had led the intellectual journey of this profession, on which we are all trying to build and take it forward to the next set of people. And so they have left us a rich legacy of knowing places and developing it for greater quality of life for humanity. Could you go to the next one? Yes, here we are intending to tell you that, see, our hands are on the pulse. We know what's happening in the world now. We are realistic in terms of our own understanding and our own expectation, and we do understand it's technology which is actually driving, technology which brought all of us together at this point of time, when we are all kind of put into corners by a virus due to COVID-19, but we are all united here to share some ideas, to learn, to see how we can go together. And so technology is going to influence the future of planning, as well as it's also our individual as well as shared behavior, which is going to influence the planning future. So I'm intending to tell this because our courses, our curricula, our pedagogy is kind of well laid with these kind of understanding. So students have opportunity to kind of discern these set of knowledge and use it for their own intellectual gains. Can you go to? Yeah. So the learning ecosystem, which my colleague introduced earlier to you, the learning ecosystem for future urban planners, we don't look at planning school as an entity which operates in isolation. For us, the planning schools have to be engaged on a regular basis with a range of stakeholders, which starts from policy institutions such as NITI Aayog, which has been promoting aspirational districts, adult tinkering labs, or a range of opportunities and policy initiatives which has manifestation and implication on urban sector. Technology companies, Gurgaon is known for being the hub of corporates and technology hubs. A lot of startups are here which are enabled by the technological advancement. And geospatial intelligence, the city has got a major platform called OneMap Gurugram, which is one of the very unique initiative by the local government, local authority, the Gurugram Metropolitan Development Authority. Those who are not familiar with the city is one of the latest entrants into the category of metropolitan cities, and they use technology for making as well as sharing their decisions as well as approving different public engagements. The advent of hyperlocal economy has brought us a lot of opportunities to look at the e-commerce and its implication on shaping places, whether we would want to go into a retail outlet, or can we get it delivered at home like we are all doing now. Public health, equally important for all of us, especially the pandemics, epidemics, and disease outbreaks. So we are well engaged with institutions, people. Recently, we did a joint webinar with one of the agencies in Delhi, participated research in Asia on pandemics and learning for city planning. So we do engage with these areas. We do have sustained engagement and conversation with the local government agencies, the Gurugram Metropolitan Development Authority, as well as the municipal corporation and other local and state agencies. So our knowledge is constantly shaped by these exchanges, learning, as well as the students and the extended fraternity is able to kind of gain out of this constant interventions, interactions, and the knowledge that's coming out of it. So it's a very distilled knowledge, and we are quite keen to build our work and our outreach for larger social and professional gains. Yeah. So as we do this, there's a journey that we have undertaken. So we do have local, national, as well as international engagements. Also, we also have those levels of aspiration. So that's why we engage with these agencies. So this is two of the senior academics coming from the University of Lincoln and University of Otago in New Zealand. A year back, they had visited us, and we have ongoing conversation with them to develop academic and research relationships and partnerships. And hopefully, once we are all back to normal days of life, we will be able to advance these initiatives. There are more. We also had a day-long workshop with the University of Nottingham in UK and Bombay Chamber of Commerce. We looked at the issues related to the big 9 cities of India, the 5 million plus cities, 50 lakh plus cities, how they are behaving, how are they important for Indian economy, and what are the opportunities there, how planning is being addressed in these cities. Is there any learning for a city like Gurugram where we are housed? So these kind of things we keep doing, and it was quite worthy to do. We have a live conversation again with the School of Natural and Built Environment at Queen's University Belfast, where I had an opportunity to undertake my research training. And we had visitors, the faculty team visited us, and we are exchanging notes to see what are the areas of academic and research partnership. So all these activities, learning, shared thinking also influences us in reviewing and reconfiguring our own pedagogy. So we have managed to innovate at pedagogical level. The curricula, the teaching methods, the tools, and the whole set of instrument that we use, and also the learning experiences, we have been able to kind of innovate and also update it to make it something which a student who comes in those gains heavily intellectually, and also be able to be an effective practitioner and a planner while he or she goes out to the market. As you saw earlier, there was international exchanges, and we also work with, as I mentioned earlier, policy and practice. And we are a radically different school. We look at urban space completely different manner. We are not looking at just doing another ordinary job. So we have very vibrant intellectual environment where we work together, and so some of the skills we hope the students to take advantage of while being at Sushant are critical thinking, and we also want to tune their thinking, their mindset, and their orientation towards sustainability, because we need to be mindful of our relationship with nature, our relationship among each other. Unless and until this is done, sustainability is not possible. So we are quite conscious of that, and while we do that, we are not really doing a very dry job. So we want to be mindful of the advantages of art and aesthetics. So it's part of our thinking, it's part of the values and learning that we share with our students. Could you go to the next one? Yeah. So some of the eminent visitors who came to us or who engaged with us, who thought we are doing something seriously different and interesting. So we had Dr. Ruth Katumari, who is a co-director of the India Observatory at London School of Economics, and we thought it would be good to listen to her. And she said, yes, urban planning is a very important aspect, and Sushant School could actually do an exciting job in this area. And we had another expert from the State Planning Board in Government of Kerala, Dr. Ravi Raman. He said, there is a need to guide the society in its social transformation, and spatial thinking, spatial skills are extremely important, and planners are at the center of this whole initiative. So these are the people who actually thought Sushant has a serious task at hand, and it should be able to reach out to these aspirations. Could you go to the next one? So we had Mr. Chandrabhushan, who led the Environmental NGO Center for Science and Environment for about 15 years, and he kind of has recently moved on to another organization. He is a CEO, but he came here a year back, and he shared his perspective on how the smart cities need to be inclusive, and they also need to be integrating the ideas of sustainable development. So we had deliberations with him, and we grew richer and more purposeful in our endeavor. So the courses that we offer are in these baskets. We have bachelor's program, we have an integrated program which focuses on sustainable planning. My colleagues will share more details about this, but broadly, for you to get a sense of what are the major academic programs that we offer. And Kangan, could you go to the next slide? We do have internships as well as placement. So internship is an opportunity for our students to work with senior professionals and also sometimes academics. We had in the past students visiting outside the country, as well as working with some of the leading national and regional institutions which is in charge of policy formulation, planning, and as well as new strategies, spatial strategies. So the list is in front of you, and this is only going to get richer and expanded as we go further into the profession and into the future. Yeah. So just to give you a sense of the kind of positions and the kind of jobs our people manage to get, what kind of skills, what kind of talent we create, and how do they go to the market, and who appreciate them for their intellectual as well as professional skills. So it's starting from John Slang to you have Huda, you have local consultancies, you also have Barclays, which is one of the leading banks from the UK. They have been active in India. We also had been lucky that our students didn't really stop here. They decided to pursue further learning at international universities. So Oxford, Brookes, and Virginia Tech, and there are universities where our students have secured admissions. It confirms that we have prepared them to go and compete in a bigger and wider world. And so that's a confirmation that we have been able to give them the right skills and knowledge. Could you go to the next? Right. So our alumni had been very excited about the work we do, because they thought they had gainful experience while they were engaged with the university as well as with the school, with all the fraternity around. And two of our past students have shared their views, which is in front of you. More details you could gain as we interact. So while we did this, some of the things that I mentioned already, but we also kept doing more exchanges, more interactions because it's not just about sitting and making a plan. It's about shaping your mind. It's about keeping you motivated, purposeful, and excited throughout your engagement. And that cannot happen just by doing a dry job or just by bookish knowledge. So you need to learn. The world is your learning space, and you need to engage with the different range type of players and stakeholders and learners. All of us are learning, and how can we enrich that? So we had these type of events where Hafiz Contractor, Dr. Rajesh Chandan, and we had panels, we had guest lectures. All these activities kept on happening. Arun Bhatt and Peter Scriver were here with us at some point of time. And we organized one of the impactful event last year, which is called International Planning and Architecture Conclave. And it was a very successful event, not just because I am part of the institution, but that's the kind of feedback we got. And we saw the gains that our students had, because they engaged with the expert, they engaged with the visitors, and it was a festival of ideas. I would say such kind of experiences we recreate, and the students are part of this whole process. So it's not just that the management and faculty does, but students are part of it. Some glimpses from this experience is for you.
So, thank you, Dr. Ajit.
Could you, I can't see the screen. Could you, Kangan, there is something.
Can you see the screens?
No, there's someone else who's actually.
If somebody has put the present now button, can you please remove, because I can't see the screen. I have the presentation in front of me.
Okay.
Sarika Mulia, can you please stop presenting?
I request Mr. Shelja to please stop presenting. Mr. Shelja Mulle to please stop presenting.
Is it stuck? Has she frozen?
Professor Kankan, you can present it again then.
Okay.
So you will have to present again.
Yeah. So we were sharing about the events. Dr. Ajit, can you see now?
It has, yeah, it's coming through. Yeah, I think she's stopping now. Okay, Kangan, so you can put your screen back now.
Yeah. Can you see now?
It's not through.
Kankan ma'am, you have to put your presentation again, just like you did in the beginning. Yeah.
And go to this slide, IPAC slide. You can quickly go to the IPAC slide.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Kangan. So you can go to the next slide then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll stop here. Thank you, Kangan, and I'll hand over the session back to Kangan and
Thank
Hadi
you.
to take forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ajit. So after providing an understanding on the planning profession and why Sushant should be an option for you to take up planning as a program profession, we will now share information about programs offered at Sushant School of Planning and Development. We will begin with bachelor's programs at Sushant School of Planning and Development. I would request Ms. Harneet Kaur to take it forward. Before that, I would like to introduce Ms. Harneet Kaur to everyone. She is Program Director, Integrated Bachelor's and Master's in Planning at SSPD. Ms. Harneet is a postgraduate in Geography and further specializes in urban planning. She has 11 years of experience of industry and academics. She expertises in application of GIS in making master plans for towns and cities. In one of the many ventures that she has undertaken, one of them is that she has partnered with Google for generating map data. So over to Ms. Harneet now.
Thank you, Kankan, but the limitation is that I'm not able to see the presentation. Can Shailaja Mulya please stop presenting? Kankan, you can restart the presentation.
I'm doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Is it visible now?
Yes, yes, thank you. Hello to everyone and greetings from Sushant School of Planning and Development. I hope everyone is safe and staying home in this COVID-19 environment. Starting with the programs at bachelor's level in Sushant School of Planning and Development, I would like to introduce the first program, that is Bachelor's of Planning with specialization of urban and regional planning. This particular program is the regular planning program which is being offered in most of the planning schools, and it is more oriented towards physical planning, land use planning, and this is the starting of the course starts with inculcating the critical thinking in the mind of the students, because they are right now entering into this course from their 12th standards, and to change their mind into an analytical mind, so that they can analyze the pros and cons within their nearest environment, within their nearest abutting land uses, and how they can reorganize them and replan it into an planned environment. That is what the basic aim of planning, Bachelor's of Planning, Urban and Regional Planning is. As Dr. Ajit Kalyat has mentioned earlier, that we are the radical school, and we were in the path of changing the pedagogy of teaching. So an innovative pedagogy of teaching give us an liberty to make an integrated planning program, which helped us in integrating the environmental concern with the physical planning. We tried to interlink the two pillars of the society into one learning platform, where we try to achieve the sustainable development goal number 11, which is attaining the sustainable cities. So this is the initiative we are doing just at the educational level. Can we move to the next slide, please, Kankan? So the flow of education in these two programs goes that the first stage, that is up to the 3 years of the bachelor's, both the programs have common subjects. Their flow, their education goes common, because this is a foundation making year. And after that, the Bachelor's of Planning, Urban and Regional, at the 7th semester, they go for an internship for the whole semester, and they come back and they implement and compose all their learning into the thesis semester, which is their final semester and graduating semester. And whereas since the integrated Masters of Planning is a planning program where the entry point is at bachelor's level and the exit point is at master's level. So we have further 3 semesters after the internship at 7th semester. So these 3 semesters are again oriented towards sustainable planning. So the subjects, the foundation which they have learned in the initial years, how to inculcate that into achieving the 3 pillars of sustainability, is being taught in the last 3 semesters. So that a thought of sustainability, a thought of achieving a holistic planned approach for the cities, for urbanization, which is beneficial for all, is achieved. That is what we teach in these during the course of these semesters. Kankan, can we move to the next slide, please? So, so these are the basic subjects which we teach. Our subjects are basically divided into two ways: theories and practicals. What the close network of theory and practical is that the theoretical knowledge which they get in the theory subjects is being converted into practical one through their planning studios, which are the core subjects. So if they are learning how a foundation-based course of how demography and urbanization is affecting, what's the importance of that? So that theory-based subject, they implement it in their planning studio, and then the plan is being formed. Then the particular specific subjects in integrated planning, sustainable planning specialization is that we deal with the climatology, so how natural resources are being managed, how natural resource master plans should be made, how sustainable cities, resilient cities are made. All these kind of education we provide them through theories as well as practical. Our initiative is to make the student think critically about their surroundings, how they can change, how they can create new spaces, as well as they can organize the existing spaces, keeping in mind the need of the hour to achieve sustainability, and as well as how a smart city can be achieved through smart sustainable city. So that is what our initiative is during this bachelor's program. And after the bachelor's program, students have many perspective of doing a job, or they can go for higher studies also. This is the platform in which you can take the glimpse of our students who did these practical thinking, how they can model maps, how they can see the environment, how their critical thinking, their new learning, because everyone has a different perception about a particular land, about a particular resource, how that perception can help the society in achieving a planned area. That is what is being taught. And this is being represented in the juries and the reviews. And the market experts come and they give the review, their feedback to our students, which enhance their learning process. This is the flow of the planning studio. So it is being done firstly at the field level, then at the classroom level, then again at the field level, and then again at the classroom level. I have given these 4 stages. First at the field level, in a sense that they remotely find out the area, the site, through Google Earth, through remote sensing technologies, that what that area is. The initial analytical stage is done at that level. Then they analyze, they form a literature review, they form a data required to plan that city, they make a vision within the studio environment. After that, they go on field, they interact with authorities, they interact with the people, they do public opinion surveys. And then after gathering each and everyone's need and requirement, they fit in that into planning principles, and they produce the plans, they produce the proposals in their planning studios. So this is how at the bachelor's level, the flow of education goes. Thank you very much for hearing me, and I thank Kankan for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Harni. Thank you so much. Now I request Dr. Prabh Bedi to provide an overview about master's programs at Sushant School of Planning and Development. I would like to introduce Dr. Prabh Bedi to everyone. She is Programs Head, Sushant School of Planning and Development. A postgraduate in geography, she specializes in regional planning. She expertises in geoinformatics. She has over 20 years of work experience in planning and geospatial technologies, both in industry and academia. She has served as advisor on various urban regional environmental projects with national and international organizations. She has been associated with academic institutions since 2002 and has published widely on urban studies in geographical context of Global South. Over to Dr. Prabedi.
Thank you, Kankan, and good evening, everyone. I would like to let you all know that SSPD offers master's programs with 3 specializations. These are urban planning, transport planning, and policy and governance. We offer various avenues for research through PhD program, which is embedded in the concept of 3 Sushants. In addition, we offer certificate courses also, which are called by the name of Field of Planning and Communicative Planning. In Field of Planning, the students from grade 9 to 12 get an opportunity to be acquainted with planning. Other course, that is the Communicative Planning, which is for young professionals from the field of architecture, engineering, geography, sociology, economics, and other allied fields. In both these courses, the emphasis is on exposing the students towards hands-on and technology-driven learning, which is very much rooted in the concepts and ideology of planning. So as we move to the next slide, I would like to tell you that the 3 master's programs are spanned over a period of 2 years, where subject-specific knowledge is imparted through 4 semesters. First semester of these specialization is conducted in an integrated mode, and it forms the foundation for the program. Post that, the students branch out to their respective specializations for the subsequent 3 master's programs. As you would be made aware from the next slide, the key focus of the semester's progress is from area and community scale towards city scale, where the focus is on environment. That is the second semester. And in the third semester, the students primarily do studies at a regional level. Here, the focus is further on infrastructure related projects in the regions that they identify. And the fourth semester, that is the last semester of their program, culminates with their thesis research. So during this whole learning process, during the summer month, that is the summer months that are between the 2 years, the students undertake internships in the areas of their interest with organizations in government, corporate sector, NGOs, and even think tanks. And throughout the duration of the program, the students are provided with opportunities for connecting with the industry and experts. So I would like to further emphasize on the next slide that planning being an interdisciplinary field, teaching learning environment is made vibrant by bringing in experts from the related fields. So it is not just geography, sociology, architecture, engineering that we talk about. We also encourage students to delve more on human psychology type of subjects, which they do take on during their research work. The learning environment here is rooted very much in the theories of core planning and related subjects. And teaching environment is not just faculty driven. From time to time, students are encouraged to lead the sessions, and simultaneously they are provided with numerous opportunities to participate in seminars, colloquiums, and conferences. So I would like to tell you that even though we are facing really unprecedented circumstances due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and we are not in the best of the times, but I'm still very proud to say that even in this situation has not hampered the teaching learning process in our school. This has been possible primarily due to the robust IT systems of our university. The automated and digital learning tools adopted by the school and the university have formed the basis for this smooth move from in-person, in-classroom teaching learning to online teaching learning environment. As you can see in the next slide, we have been using video calling, social media, emails, chat sessions, the schools, universities, ERP, regular phone calls, and even remote desktop communication, along with to conduct our reviews, juries, assignments, and assessments too are being done on an online mode. One of some examples are visible on the screen and as also available visible on the next screen. This we recently conducted. In fact, it was done yesterday only. We did a comprehensive development plan jury yesterday, which was these were by the students of the second semester of first year M Plan, and they had done a study on Alwar city, which was very well appreciated by the 4 or 5 experts who had participated and taken their time out to provide feedback to the students. And this was all done on an online mode. Now I would like to thank Kankan again and request her to take on from here.
Thank you, Prab. Thank you. So finally, now we have our dear student representatives with us. Today we have with us Anirudh Yadav, who is a second year student of Masters of Planning, and Mrinali Solanki, who is a first year student of Bachelor of Planning. So they're representing the student fraternity here. So I invite both of you to please take on from here. Anirudh and Mrinali.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Mrinali Solanki, and like Kankan ma'am said, I'm in the first year of Bachelor of Planning. I hail from Ranchi, and I got to know about this course from my sister, who is also a product of this proud institution. So coming to campus life, the campus life at Sushant is great. There are a lot of open surroundings, which really affects our learning process. We have outdoor classes very often, which are very interactive and quite interesting. Also, I'd like to add the facilities provided here are top-notch. The computer labs, the libraries are very well equipped. There is a studio corridor in our college, which displays the work of our seniors, which is quite interesting. So as you walk through, you can see the works done by our seniors in various years. So it's quite interesting. Also, since planning is a very practical field, we get to go on a lot of field trips for surveys and everything. Passing on to Anirudh, sir.
All right. Hi, everybody. Good evening. I'm Anirudh Yadav. I am currently pursuing my master's in planning, and this is my final semester, final year. And okay, so I'm going to tell you one more thing. I've been a part of this institution for more than 5 years. I know master's in planning is of 2 years, of course, but then I have done my bachelor's from the same institution as well. I've done my bachelor's in planning in 2018. I completed it, and currently I'm a final year student for master's. I'm also the National General Secretary for NOSPLAN India, which is the National Organization of Students for Planning. So it's a huge student organization, started in 1971 and still continuing again and again. So we have a good exposure that we get at Sushant. The environment, the warmth that we get from all the faculties, the dean, everybody out here is completely something that we actually are here for. That is why probably I decided to pursue my post-graduation from the same institution again. Otherwise, a lot of you would be thinking that why did I come back to the same college? Because everybody wants a change. So in my case, I did not want to change because it's really good to be at Sushant. So, okay. I was a part of the World Urban Forum this year, the WUF 10. It was recently hosted in Abu Dhabi. And over there, we got to debate on a lot of agendas. So Sushant gives you a very good exposure in all these things. And I was the representative, one of the 2 representatives from India who went there as representatives of the planning fraternity. And we are already signing MOAs with NOSPLAN related to better options of career in planning fraternity. I was going through the chat box. I saw some of you pretty concerned about the career opportunities that we have. So see, first of all, we have a lot of options available. So it's nowhere down the lane that you're not going to get a job. Even post COVID-19, I can assure you, I'll at least get a job. So if I can get it, then probably almost everybody out there can get it. So I guess that will be all. If you guys need to ask me anything or something, I can provide you my number or my email account at the end. So over to Kankan ma'am for the same, please.
Thank you so much, Anirudh and Mrinali. A very empowering deliberation. We are very happy to hear everything that you shared. Thank you so much. So, dear audience, if you wish to make Sushant as your next destination, then let us hear about Ansal University and the admission process. For this, I would like to invite Mr. Amit Phul, who is Marketing Head, Chief Marketing Officer at Ansal University. I would briefly introduce him to you. He is responsible for marketing and admissions initiatives at Ansal University. He comes with a rich experience of more than 15 years in strategic roles across industries within India and Middle East. He holds an MBA degree in finance and marketing from Asian Institute of Management, Manila, Philippines. So request Mr. Amit Phul to take over, please.
Thank you, Professor Kankan, for this opportunity. Very good evening to everyone here, and really delighted to join all of you on this webinar today. Well, after the insights of all the faculty members as well as the student council members who've shared wonderful experiences, I thought I'll just take you through an overview of Ansal University as a whole, with the presence of 8 schools together. It's important to understand that because after you graduate from your courses, then you become an alumni of this particular university. So as you are aware, we have a rich legacy of more than 30 years being in the education space. And through these years, we have created a niche by positioning ourselves as a boutique university right in the heart of India's largest corporate hub at downtown Gurgaon. Here in Gurgaon, as you're aware, we are surrounded by numerous MNCs, giving an opportunity for all our students to not only interact with the bright industry leaders, but also thrive in the startup culture that exists within our campus. Over the years, Ansal University has developed a fine blend of creative streams with our flagship schools like Sushant School of Art and Architecture, as well as Sushant School of Design, where we are consistently ranked amongst the top in private education sector across India. Students from not only India, but also from around the world, they long to gain the exposure that are given in both these schools. Then we have traditional and yet evergreen courses like engineering as well as law, where through our industry partnerships as well as unique international academic collaborations, the current and future skills are embedded well in the course curriculum. Sushant School of Business is a new age business school that has the right balance of experiential learning along with a futuristic approach that gives us an edge to develop global managers who are ready to be accepted by leading corporate houses. The one school that is most relevant in current scenario is the Sushant School of Health Sciences, where we are offering courses in the field of allied health streams, including psychology, that will further provide a plethora of job opportunities for all the graduating students. There is a School of Hotel Management as well. We call it the Vatel Hotel and Tourism Business School. That is the #1 hotel management school in the world. And we are very proud to say that out of a total worldwide network of more than 51 Vatel schools, they have only one school in India, and that is here at Ansal University itself. Lastly, I'll move on to the Sushant School of Planning and Development, which branched out of our flagship school, Sushant School of Art and Architecture, in the year 2018. The school takes its inspiration from our government's mission to develop smart cities across India. That will give an opportunity for all the potential students to develop the much sought after skills in the areas of urban and regional planning, transport planning, as well as policy and governance, for instance. So with all these 8 contemporary schools at the university, students are given an integrated and a wholesome environment to learn and develop their overall skills. Through the practice of transdisciplinary learning, you will have an option to learn about other fields of your interests that may be covered in any of our 8 schools. Say, for example, being a student of planning, there is a complementary, field of architecture and design, and planning school is a part of the cluster altogether. So you are free and you're welcome to take any of the electives from the School of Architecture as well as design, and you can enhance your skill. And further, for example, again, these days there is a lot of emphasis on digital marketing. So we have a digital marketing elective in the School of Business. You're welcome to take that as an elective with an objective to overall enhance your skills and the learning itself. Throughout the journey of imparting quality education at Ansel University, our university has consistently been recognized on various industry platforms where we have received many esteemed awards and recognitions for our academic endeavors. So some of these awards and recognitions are displayed in the next slide. So we see that our university has been consistently ranked amongst the best private university in North India. We received the last award in 2017. And in the field of design and architecture, we have received numerous awards. In fact, for architecture, we are consistently, in the last 10 years, we have received many awards as being the best private architecture school in India. Sushant School of Planning and Development, although is a new school, but it is one of the fastest growing school right now. And with our participation of students in various academic forums and seminars, we are receiving a lot of accolades in this particular school also. For the next slides, next slides are very important slides related to admission criteria, eligibility, admission procedure, and scholarships. So I'll invite my colleague, Ms. Kiran. She's the senior most counselor at the university, and she's in particular responsible for admissions in Sushant School of Planning and Development. Kiran, please take over.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. As we move to the eligibility criteria and the admission process, this is very, very important. So I want to briefly explain you the admission process and the criteria. So first of all, coming to the bachelor's program, the eligibility criteria is very simple. It's like you must have mathematics in your 12th examination, and you must get 50% marks in mathematics, and wherein your overall aggregate of 12 percentage will also increase. So this is both for bachelor's in planning, urban and regional, and also for integrated M planning. Integrated M planning is a 5 years program which includes your bachelor's and master's degree together. This is also one of our wonderful program, and students are very keen to join this during the admissions time. Next slide, ma'am. So coming to the master's eligibility criteria, the basic thing which is followed is a bachelor's degree. It's a valid bachelor's degree wherein you must have 55% in your bachelor's degree. For Masters of Planning, it should be civil engineering, architecture. For policy and governance, it could be your civil engineering, architecture, and also law. For transport planning, it is also open to civil engineering, architecture, and law with a 55% of marks in your bachelor's. So these are the basic things you must get in your bachelor's program, or you must get in your 12th qualifying examination to get a hold on admission. Coming to the admission process for bachelor's and master's, for all the programs, we have a personal interview round. So in this interview round, we'll do your document screening, we'll do the document assessment screening, and also we just assess you. There will be a panel who is going to assess you on the basis of whatever experiences you have, and lot of general things they might inquire, and then followed by a selection letter. This will be issued, and further admission process will be taken care of. Next slide, ma'am. So as you're aware that university has a lot of scholarships also for the meritorious students. We do have scholarships for bachelor's and master's programs. So I'll quickly tell you how we calculate that. So there is a JEE entrance examination, which I think most of you have done it. So we have found out a composite score scholarship, which will be on the basis of your 12th examination result and your JEE. And a 60-40 ratio will be taken, 60 out of your 12th and a 40 out of your JEE paper. So this will be taken and your composite score will be calculated. And on the basis of that, if you score above 78% till 82, we have a 25% of fee waiver on the first year of tuition fees. If it is 82 to 85%, we have a 50%, as you can see in the slide. If you cross 90%, we have a 100% fee waiver. So, I mean, these are the scholarship opportunities, you can grab them. Also, there is going to be a planning scholarship test and this is also going to be for our bachelor's program, wherein we'll do this test after the admissions will be done, or we will plan out a day for this. And once the scores will be calculated, if you see here in the slide, it will, if these scores will be like this: 350, then 100%, 300 to 324 range, there will be a 50% scholarship, and above 350, if you get, you are able to get 100% fee waiver on your first year tuition fees. So this is all about the admission process and the scholarships. And lastly, there is one scholarship which is also introduced for master's program, which is the GATE score. And if you get a valid GATE score, then you will be getting, master students will be eligible to get a stipend of 7,000 rupees per month. This will be for your during your 2 years tenure of master's program. So in case you feel any questions, you have any inquiries about the bachelor's and master's program, and I want to specifically emphasize on the master's program because we just have an intake of 20 students in each master's. So I will request you all to quickly fill the application forms and connect with me. You can note down my number and email ID. And Ms. Shubhi Mehrotra, she is also taking care of the planning admissions. You can note down her number also in case my number gets busy. You can connect with her. So please take a look on this and note it down. And Amit sir, please take it forward.
Yeah, thanks, Kiran. It was nicely explained. So I'll just add to that by saying that because of the current, in the wake of the current COVID-19 pandemic, also because we want to encourage quality discussions in the classrooms, this is for the very first time that we have launched such composite scholarship in the School of Planning and Development. And for those who have not yet appeared for the JEE exam, we have developed our own entrance test also, which is planning scholarship test. The details of that also will be shared. We'll be scheduling the planning scholarship test very soon in the month of May itself. You can always connect with Kiran and other team member to register for the same. And we look forward to seeing you here at the campus once things are normalized. We look forward to taking you around at the campus as well and answering your further queries. We will be sharing the links of our website in the chat box. The website has all the further details about the programs, the fee structure, everything is mentioned there. And the admissions are ongoing right now, so the applications are being filled on a daily basis. So we encourage that please initiate that as soon as possible. Also, we'll be sharing the links of some of our videos and at the same time the online application form. So you can, of course, you can go through that, and you can always visit our website for further information. Last is the part of the campus life. Our students have very well explained about their exciting experiences at the campus. But being a student in the university overall, there are a lot of other facilities that are available. And because it's an integrated environment, we have a hostel facility, we have many sports facilities that are there, many number of clubs that are there for you to participate and enhance your extracurricular activities also. Just to share all of that in a short video, I'll request my colleague to play this short video which talks about the student life experience at ANSL University.
The real learning is what happens on our inspiring grounds. In a 14-acre Wi-Fi-enabled campus, you will never feel disconnected from the world. The ANSL University campus is filled with playgrounds, cafes, and gymnasium. Our cultural calendar is always filled with upcoming events where students become the teacher of their own act. With our prime location, it is very easy for the students to commute through metro and college buses. The on-campus boys and girls hostel gives you a feeling of home, a place where friendship is formed for life.
my role basically, as you can see in campus life, is to make sure that the students who take admission with us and live on our campus feel like at home. I also handle the hostel. We have a wonderful football ground run by a football academy, free teaching for students. We also run a tennis academy on our 2 tennis courts, 2 volleyball courts. We also have basketball in the university.
Staying on campus has been one of the best decisions of my life. Anyone who's staying on campus, they have a very, very set schedule. You get up early in the morning, you work out, gym is terrific, the breakfast is awesome. You're not going to miss your mom's food.
Hostel is very good, not because of the environment also, but it is safe for girls, boys, and you get a very good environment for studying also.
This campus is where students get the teachers and facilities they truly deserve. All the 8 schools at our campus have their own state-of-the-art libraries. Students can access them anytime they want.
A student is often recognized by the name of the institution associated with his education, and I feel proud to be a student of School of Law, Ansal University.
The university has not only contributed to my growth as an architecture student, but also as a person tremendously.
With the help of TDS, that is transdisciplinary learning, which happens here, it has helped me so much to interact and even learn from different schools.
My journey in this school has been all about self-discovering. So I came to this school thinking that I'll study interior designing, but obviously foundation happened and I obviously discovered myself.
I believe hotel management course here in Ansal University has given me an insight of how the hotel industry operates.
The environment here has not only helped me imbibe knowledge, but also aided me in developing my overall personality.
So thank you so much, Mr. Amit, for giving such a detailed idea about campus life, Ansal University, and the procedures of admissions. Now the session is open for questions and answers. Do we have any questions? I'm sorry, I'm not able to scroll down the chat box.
Ajit, could you scroll down? You've been answering questions on the chat box.
Ajit sir, you have to unmute your mic.
Yeah. I just did it. Okay. So few things, there were a couple of questions which I responded, but there's one which Prab also has responded, which has come through Kiran's presentation, eligibility and related criteria. There were questions related to placement, which placement Anirudh responded, but I'm happy to respond to that. Most of our students, I would say 90% of our students have found places. Being a new school, we didn't have a placement cell, but because most of our students had done internships over the summer, they have also developed relationships through the organization, which were part of our different projects and studios and thesis. So we have been able to help them to secure placements. And this is just about the master's program, because we only had one batch which passed out in the master's program. The undergraduate program, all our students have found places. Some of them have gone for higher studies outside the country. Some are studying in other universities in India, and few of them are in the market. So you saw there is a slide where we showed the placement information, and happy to provide more information when you come for for specific, if you have any specific queries.
The average salary.
Can you repeat your question, please?
Actually, I want to ask about the average salaries after master M-Plan.
Okay, so the market varies widely and it has been swinging. I would say the leading, the most influential, effective students have been able to get, or if they get some good placement, it was around 70,000, but it varies. Obviously, it varies depending upon the agency, the time, and the kind of projects and the activity. So it would be anywhere in the range of 40 to 60,000 per month.
Thank you, sir.
So Sheena has a question, and I would like to come in between. So Sheena has a question that she's saying, just give me a minute. My question is for Ajit sir. Since you said planning is about to organize people according to the activities, so will we study psychology also?
Yeah, I responded to that, Kiran, because we have a psychology and public policy course in our M-Plan policy and governance, and I've responded to that. And then she had a second question. So yeah, she could take it as an elective.
Sir, is it there in urban planning also? Because you said it's there in governance.
Yeah, so see, there are two things. One is all the three masters program has got an integrated semester. So this is part of the first semester, wherein this is offered as an elective. So if you wish to take that as a course, you will be able to do that. So even if you enroll for M-Plan urban planning in the first semester, this will be offered as an elective, the policy and psychology and public policy, and you will be able to opt for it.
As an elective?
Yeah, it's offered as an elective at this point of time.
Okay, sir.
I think you've answered the question, Mr. Anirudh Roy as well. So you've answered that, but we'll just go through that again. Which is more beneficial, integrated course for 5 years or pursuing M-Plan after B-Plan?
Yeah, exactly. I have one more question. Which would be better? Will it be the B-Plan or the integrated 5-year plan? Because anyway, what is being understood is M-Plan is must after doing the B-Plan to get a better placement.
So can I answer that?
Yeah, please.
So Anirudh, the thing is, the current trend of education has been that after graduation, even if it's after a year or two of experience, one wants to do a higher degree. So masters has become a kind of a natural trajectory for completing one's education. So this is a rare opportunity where in 5 years you will get a postgraduate degree. So which is so you save 1 year, of course, and also you get a very comprehensive postgraduate, and then after few years of work, maybe you would apply for a PhD and also many government agencies or many placement agencies require a postgraduate degree for employment. So I think this would be beneficial, to give 1 more year to education and complete one's, solid basic education. That is the advantage of the integrated plan. And also because of sustainable planning, you will get exposure to a lot of accrediting bodies, institutions who are into sustainable architecture and planning, and it helps you to increase your network, which then you can use both for professional and for intellectual growth later on. So we would, not many colleges offer this. So this is what is available here, and it is quite a good deal.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ajit. Can I ask one more question?
Sure, sure.
Mr. Ajit, when is the last date of filling up the application forms?
Sir, I would like to answer this question.
Please.
Actually, you are applying for bachelor's or master's program? Bachelor's program. So see, the availability of the seats depends upon the admission. So there's last date is although till July, but you know we have very limited seats in our bachelor's and master's program. 40 seats in bachelor's and 20 in master's. So currently we have already opened up our admissions for all our applications. So it depends upon the seat availability, and I think it is going to finish by next month. So we'll take a call on that. We'll see how it gets be done.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll be also launching the scholarship test. So once you have applied, you're requested to kindly proceed ahead and register yourself for that as well.
So, I mean, the guy who has already given the JEE exam, he's also eligible for that scholarship test?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have any other questions? Sorry.
Sazia Hussain. Sajid Hussain, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm working with an organization, but I would like to join M-Plan program. Please tell me about the possibility to join that course.
Sajid is a master student. I've been in touch with him. So he's looking for an exemption on the attendance. So, you know, he is working and he's looking for that opportunity. So we have a regular program and we follow our 75% attendance. So is there anyone who can answer on this question?
Dr. Prab?
Or Vibhuti ma'am can tell.
I would repeat what Kiran has said. We surely need 75% attendance. That there cannot be any leeway on that particular front, because it is not it's not something that we can teach offhand. In classroom presence and learning is very, very important part of the planning programs. That's why it becomes mandatory to come to the classroom. It's not just learning from a book or an online web portal or something. In a course like planning, interaction amongst the students is very much required, because the tasks that are given are mostly on an assignment mode, and a group of students, up to 2 to 3 students, work on a particular aspect. Hence, classroom interactions become very, very pertinent. So in that light, I think joining the course full-time would be mandatory, rather is mandatory. I hope that answers your question, Sajid.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So Sheena has asked again that she wants to know the details of the scholarship test. So Sheena, that test has been formulated internally, and we will be conducting the test probably in the 2nd or 3rd week of May. We will share the exact details with you, and Kiran will be in touch with you for that.
Yeah, any other questions? So, do we wait or can we close?
We may close the session. They can get in touch with us. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you everyone for your participation. On behalf of Sushant School of Planning and Development and Ansal University, I would like to thank all our respected guests for showing interest in planning programs at Ansal University. Thank you for taking out your time for this interaction with SSPD today. Thank you one and all. Thank you so much.